On today's video, I want to talk about how Wuthering Waves is definitely going to surpass, at least eventually, maybe not at once, but eventually is going to surpass Genshin Impact in terms of maybe not money, but definitely they're going to steal their players, and the end game is going to 100% be way better than anything Genshin's ever done. I know Genshin is trying to do, more end game now, but I know people are going to come in the comments and they're going to start saying, but Genshin doesn't want to do endgame. That's not the only thing I'm talking about. So the reason I think that Wuthering Waves is going to surpass Genshin Impact is because during these dead patches, quote unquote dead patches that Genshin Impact has all the time, like right now, you saw so much discourse with the 4.6, companion quest with, not even companion quest, the character quest with Arlecchino. Everyone was so hyped about this quest. They had an animated short for it, which spoiled the whole thing, by the way. They had 3 other trailers for her to hype her up. And then the patch comes out, she comes out, and her character quest is essentially you just talking to a bunch of kids in orphanage, and you barely get to see her or talk to her. So that immediately removed all my hype from wanting to log back into the game at all. I was so excited to log in after watching that animated short and all the trailers. And then when I saw other people play it and I saw that, I said, nope, I'm good, never mind. But with Wuthering Waves, we're gonna have constant end game content that you can do, that you can work towards. There's an infinite amount of grinding that you can do if you want to, right? You don't have to. There's infinite, you can grind an infinite amount, especially if you do co-op and go in other people's worlds. With the bosses, you can farm them as many times as you want to get their, echoes to drop. You don't even have to waste stamina. They're going to be doing events. The reason I know that this is going to be amazing compared to Genshin, look at PGR, for example, the other game that they make. They have constantly upgraded that game, adding roguelikes, towers, events that constantly add new things, mini games, end game content when it comes to like a MOC variant or Spiral Abyss. There's constant updates being added to Wuthering Waves, and Genshin is just never going to get to that point. Every dead patch, people are like, this is the problem with Genshin players. They're like, oh, I'm so glad that there's a dead patch so I can save my primo gems and only have to log in 5 minutes a day. If that's your argument and you only log in your game 5 minutes a day and you log out, your game sucks. If there's, a time where you want to play your game and there's nothing to do except do your dailies and log out, your game's trash. And if you try to make the argument that MMOs like that, no, because MMOs have endless end game content, raids, PvP, you can do ERP, you can do so much shit in MMOs, and Wuthering Waves is gonna have constant end game content and events. And not only just that, can we talk about how good the character story quests are in Wuthering Waves compared to what they just did with Arlecchino? One of the most hyped characters that has ever been for Genshin, like ever. And her character comes out and you're literally just talking to kids, and that's it for the most part. And her entire story was spoiled by the animated short. Wuthering Waves, the Gion quest puts you in an entire different realm. You get more backstory on him, like a crazy amount of backstory. Puzzles in that area, combat, like the character quest was so well designed. And now I'm very excited to do Yinlin's and all the other characters too, because they're probably gonna be just as good. Honestly, I got like teared up almost playing Gion's quest, and this was a fucking beta, right? A character quest for a beta that wasn't, it was barely voiced. It was in Chinese, man. And I got teared up when I was playing that quest and compared to like the shit that's going on in Genshin. And honestly, a lot of stuff in Genshin just seems a lot of rinse and repeat. They're just recycling shit now. And Wuthering Waves and PGR, for example, constantly just keeps upping themselves, keeps upgrading the game, keeps adding new fun content and things that are going to make people come back to the game. There's been so many times where I stopped playing PGR and then I see a new update and I'm like, oh my God, this looks fun as hell. And I'll go back and play it. At the end of the day, I know a lot of people are going to say it is never going to surpass Genshin. Maybe not at launch, but just you wait. A couple more of those dead patches like I saw with Arlecchino, how many people were super mad about that. People that were actually excited for that. People that always talk good about Genshin, and then that came out and they're like, what the fuck is this? This character has been hyped for over a year, and then this is what we get for her patch. She's not even a part of the main story. She's not even in Archon quest. And her character quest, she was barely in it, and it was spoiled in an animated short. Like, it's actually insane. And before you guys say, oh, you're just saying this because your twin Tectone said that, shut the fuck up, first of all. Me, if you know anything about me or Tectone, I have had this opinion about Genshin for the longest time before I even, like, when I quit the game. And if you go and look at the video that we've done together, where I ask him, like, hey, bro, did they change any of this in the game? Because this is why I quit. He straight up is like, nah, if you didn't like that, it's the same, if not worse, so don't come back. So if you guys are curious on my thoughts on why I quit Genshin, I'll leave the video that me and him did, that link down below. But please, for the love of God, stop trying to tell me that every fucking opinion I have is only because Tectone also said it. It's fucking cringe. I'm my own man. I'm 33 years old. I have my own opinions. Please stop saying that in comments. Wuthering Waves over time, after every patch, is going to keep getting better and better and better. And Genshin, the way it's been going for like the last year or so, is going to keep declining and declining and declining. And I know a lot of you are going to say, no, it hasn't. And you're going to use the numbers from the fucking gacha chart and saying it's still making more money than Star Rail sometimes. Here's the thing. Star Rail makes money and does good events all the time. So, you know, that's not really a good argument. And I know the player base for Genshin is dropping significantly. And I keep saying, like, seeing in my comments, people that have been playing since Genshin day one. Literally, they'll comment and say, Genshin day one player here. But when Wuthering Waves comes out or Azure Premilia comes out, I'm dropping Genshin. I'm never looking back. I have gotten so many comments like that. It's not even funny. And more people will be doing that when they start seeing how much more fun their friends are having or people that they're following are having playing Wuthering Waves than they are playing Genshin. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is going to happen. Keep this video in mind. 6 months after release of Wuthering Waves, I guarantee you it is going to be either above Genshin during patches or you know, at least at the same like level as Genshin throughout the entirety of the game. If they keep doing what they're doing with PGR and do Wuthering Waves, I have absolutely the utmost faith that they are going to surpass everyone's expectations and actually truly compete with Genshin Impact and be the first game to actually compete with Genshin in you know, every aspect. Until Azure Premilia, I think that's the game that's really going to compete, mainly because of Azure Lane Dev's, you know, design, character designs, and it's literally Pal World, but Wuthering Waves combat. How sick does that sound? But I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. I know a lot of Genshin fans are gonna be like, it's never gonna surpass Genshin. Just know if I see that comment, I do not give a fuck and you're wrong. But you can feel free to leave it and you guys can argue with each other in comments. I love seeing that shit. I love being able to look at that and use that as analytics when I see one side of the fandom, you know, proving one point and, you know, proving my point pretty much. And then the other side that is just in denial, that is just constantly trying to make it sound like their game's not dying. And, you know, I wouldn't say it's dying. It's never going to die, but it's definitely declining. And, you know, they're doing everything they can to make sure no one ever talks bad about their game. And the reason that their game is declining is because your game never gets criticized. And when it does, you vilify people for it. And that is why that game will never get better. But like I said, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. If you guys think Wuthering Waves will ever, you know, do what I said it's going to do in this video, or if Genshin Impact will still stay on top. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell to be notified for future videos on Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, ZZZ, many more. There's so many games coming this year, and they just keep on getting announced more and more. We just got another one that got announced that's like made by the Epic 7 devs, and it's going to just apparently be Epic 7 too. So I'll probably be covering that too when it comes out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.